I'm ready when you're ready. Then I remove.
Oi!
The youth oi.
Oi!
Comrades, today we come back to you. Ugandans, there is misleading perception amongst the public, the general public. I want to start by thanking the national chairman of the NRM, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for steering perfectly our proceed. Can I cut? Can I cut, please? Please. Let me cut. Guys, I'm not chunking reggae. Thank you, press. Thank you. NRM oi.
Oi!
The youth oi.
Oi!
The Muzei oi.
Oi!
Thank you. I want to thank the national chairman for steering the NRM to the right direction. I also want to double thank the national chairman for guiding all SEC elections strongly and getting to its conclusion. Thank you, national chairman, for involving in the youth election, and even when the hoodwinkers thought you should offer them the victory, you said you didn't have the power and sent it to the tribunal. I thank the tribunal, the honorable tribunal, for coming out in due time and giving us a ruling. However, I want to disagree vehemently with their ruling in perspective of this. They claim conflict of interest. Where? There is a difference between perception of bias and proven bias. And I don't like it. It hurt my feeling and the feeling of and will of thousands of the youth in this country. For you to make cancellation of an election on basis of perception of bias. There was no conflict of interest. Dr. Tango Odoi, yes, might be my father, but he didn't directly involve in anything electoral. He only involved at the tail end, which was declaration. He didn't involve in tally. He didn't involve in voting, in influencing the voters. He didn't involve in counting of the votes that were announced and later declared that day or that morning. So I think there was an error. There was an error, and I want to strongly say that the will of thousands of the young people should not be on basic speculation, but rather on evidential grounds. I also want to throw in light that there is one of my opponents is misleading the public and going around spreading baseless allegations. 400 came from Makerere University. Where did they come from? What were their names? Who were they? And it hurts that the very honorable tribunal also came out to dictate and pass their ruling on the same, on mere hearsay and no evidential value. So it hurts that if they can claim that there were vote additions, unlawful vote additions, which vote additions? From where? The tribunal itself discredits the audio and video proof or evidence that was brought, calling it incomplete and very inconclusive. But the very own tribunal steps up and uses those audios, or what I would call a contradiction. They paradoxically contradict themselves. the very own tribunal by saying, well, it was incomplete and inaccurate, but we will overturn the entire election. I don't think that's right. I think that breaks fairness. It breaks fairness and justice here. That very tribunal is running in line with public perception over evidential value. And that's taking me to believing that the tribunal was favoring the noisemakers. In political mobilization, you getting hooligans and they make noise is not evidence to illegitimacy. That's my understanding. That's noise of the day, noise of the moment. It can't win over evidence at all. You cannot claim that the public perception, you cite public perception as a basis for nullifying an electoral process, shifts from it being a fact-finding tribunal to an appeasement tribunal. And I don't think that's right. The youth are not happy, and I want to assure Ugandans and the rest of the youth out there, we will come back even stronger. We will come back hard. We will attack aggressive. It's not about how loud you are. It's about how well you mobilize for the party. How well you mobilize for our president, the national chairman of this party. I want to assure you, the voters are alive. The voters are not dead. The voters are Ugandans. We are going to come back firmly, and we will win by a very big margin. I assure you, we will strongly address this agenda the rightful way. Why? Because we were voted. We were legitimately voted. If you read that ruling, in all honesty, for lack of a better word, if you read that ruling, it hurts, it sickens. But we stand strong, we respect the tribunal and our party. We will not take them on beyond their findings. We will call our voters, we will remobilize, and we will do what's best for the NRM, for all the youth, and for this country at large. I also want to strongly urge my supporters, the wider public, the supporters of Team Reggae. Nobody can stop reggae. We are going hard. They tried to stop reggae. Nobody can stop reggae. You can only reduce the volume of reggae, but it keeps playing. And this is our address. We are mobilizing our comrades from the western part of this country. We are mobilizing our comrades from the northern, the eastern, the central, back. And we'll have this vote, we will cast this vote, and believe me, we will be blessed to further on the agenda for our national chairman, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, back as president, 2026. Thank you.
Tanga oil. Oi! Tanga oil. Oi! Ra. Ra. Cha. Hello.
Hello. I also want to conclude in relation to the tribunal's findings. I find their findings a little heavily on procedure and perception. Their rulings were perceptionally characterized, and I don't think that's what the NRM stands for. I believe our rulings should be evidential, and the next time they shouldn't do it. They shouldn't witch hunt. They shouldn't witch hunt any other person because his father or one of his relatives is part of the system. I actually want to feel for our general, Muhoozi Kainerugaba. I actually feel for what he goes through. Being a son to the president, I have felt it personally, that they have attacked Tanga Collins because he's a son to Dr. Tango Doi, the NRM Electoral Commission chairperson. I think that's an attack on an individual. You even attacked him. You went personal in your... No, the tribunal does not have that mandate. You do not have the powers. You attacked him. He works for the commission. He works for the commission. He came at the tail end to declare. He didn't even announce. That announcement of results was made by Ambassador Commissioner Chinove. Then later, Dr. Tango Doi declared results. He came at the tail end. He didn't do the vote counting. He didn't influence voters. He didn't tally. He didn't announce. He declared. Like he did for the other SEC positions. He declared the winners, like he did. And the tribunal claims unreliable documentation. We had a DI form that was clear. You claim unreliable records. You claim tallying errors. But you can't prove tallying errors. Tallying errors in a large electoral process can be minors because there are few, but they weren't deliberate, they weren't systematic. You can't prove that. It hurts, but nonetheless, we are going back for a rerun and we are coming back strong, even stronger. NRM oi, a youth oi, a reggae oi, a reggae warriors oi, a reggae master oi, Yoweri Kaguta the reggae master oi, we will mobilize for Museveni oi, ra, ra, cha, cha, ah, ah, ah.
Uganda version.
Uganda version.
Uganda version.
Soko yogere byomanye bikutuse kuba nabizimba bannamawulire. Soko yogere national language.
Olusobolanga nawe. Ya bulijje.
National language.
Uganda. Reggae. Tuleke.
Bamulanga bwerere tanga teyaba, bamulanga bwerere tanga teyaba, bamulanga bwerere tanga teyaba, bamulanga bwerere teyaba, bamulanga bwerere tanga teyaba, bamulanga bwerere
Bamulanga manyi tanga.
Saba sajja wangale. Tovimba nga toli NRM. Tovimba nga toli NRM. Tovimba nga towagira NRM. Tovimba nga towagira reggae. Kyekyo. Banywanyi bange, bakulu bange, bonna abatulaba leero. Njagala kubeeyanza okubeera wano notulaba notuwuliriza. Njagala kutandika na kweyanza National Chairman, President w'eggwanga, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Njagala kumweyanza okusteeringa kubeerawo n'okusteeringa state elections zonna engeri zizatambula bulungi n'okutuyamba mu youth election yaffe nga waliwo abantu abamu n'abamu abaali baagala bakansolinga ewini yaffe. Era n'agamba nedda mu mateeka sina olukusa buyinza olusala election naye mbadde nsaba mugende mu tribunal. Era ne tugenda mu tribunal, njagala kweyanza muzeeyi okwerwa ekyo obutakkiriza kubeera obutakkiriza okumulimba. Njagala nange okweyanza tribunal mu ngeri gye baayanguya ne bakola ruling mu kaseera akatono tebali bayina. Njagala kubeeyanza naye njagala kuwakanamu nabo mu nkola yaabwe in relation to that matter petition yaabwe. Tribunal yayiiya nyaawo ne gatta byetalina kugatta. Teyakozesa evidence, yakozesa more perception and hearsay and not relying on evidence. Tribunal is a fact finding. Tribunal ya fact finding. Tribunal si ya kunonya bujulizi rather. Tribunal ya kunonya bujulizi si ya kuwiiza wolokoso ey'abantu abali wabweru. Bagamba conflict of interest as one of their reasons okunalifying results. Conflict of interest teyaliwo. Yes, Dr. Tanga muzeeyi wange and it can't techisobola kudibwamu ge mazima naye teyaliwo, teya influencing aba voters, teyabala aba voters, teyatalinga results, teya announcinga. Kyeyakola kyokka nga bwe yakola mu bifo ebirala ebya SEC, yakola declaration. So bali tebalina na evidence, whatsoever, ne ba resting argument yaabwe ku assumption. Toyinza kunalifyinga election yonna in line with assumption and not evidential value. So njagala kugamba nti enkiriza z'aba youth abangi mu ggwanga eno tesobola kunalifyingibwa ku assumptions, balina okukozesa evidence. Njagala kwogera ne ku one of the other reasons bagambye telling errors and unreliable records. Unreliable records, mwagala kugamba nti DR form teri reliable. Ne mugamba telling errors. Telling errors chi? There was no evidence to that. Era mu ruling yamwe, there was no evidence. Ne video, ne audiography. Ne videography, ne audio. The petitioners they take away. Mwagamba tezali complete, they were incomplete, and tezali accurate or conclusive. Kati temusobola kugamba nti after realizing all that you mucha basinga kwezo audios to cancel an election. That is not fair. Techiri fair at all. Chiba chibuseemu, chiba kiraze nti mubadde muka partiality. Ate ekyo kintu team TANGA, team reggae tekiriza. Ffe tugenda mobilizing ira muzeeyi. Era tugenda kufuba nga bwe tusobola. Tugenda mobilizing abavubuka bakomewo. Balage nti reggae cannot be stopped. Teri asobola okustoppinga reggae, okuyimiriza reggae. Then n'ekirala njagala kwogera ku public perception. Tribunal eri fact finding. Toyinza kugamba nti mwa relying on public perception for a ruling to be passed. That is wrong. Ekyo kikyamu nnyo. Public perception nange nsobola kumobilizing abantu abakola kelele ne bawogana naye tekiraga nti election illegitimate. Organizing abantu ne bawogana is part of political mobilization. Naye tekiraga nti election illegitimate. Temuyina kukkiriza nga tribunal okugenda out of your way to make or call a ruling because of the noise of the moment. You can't. You don't have evidence. Tewali evidence. Nemugamba public perception. Eno tribunal ya fact finding. Si ya appeasement. Si ya public appeasement. Ya kunoonyereza bujulizi. Agamazima. Buli wamu. Si ya kusanyusa omuntu omu agenze na mobilizing abantu. Ate n'ekirala ekyaddala nga tetulimba yakiriza titwamuwangula. Yakiriza naye lwakuba mulimu kamafialism awo. Balwana nze lwakuba ndi mutabani wa Dr. TANGA Odoy. Era General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the next president, indaba byoyitamu mukama wange. Mbiraba. Lwakuba muzeeyi wo president of this country tebagala kukkiriza okwesimbawo participating in politics. No. Oyina constitutional mandate like Tanga Collins does. Nange nina constitutional mandate. Chairperson wa Electoral Commission, Dr. TANGA Odoy, does not kill my constitutional mandate. Sayagala kuzalibwa chairman wa Electoral Commission. Sayagala, it was the Lord's decision, and I can tell you, I am a believer. I agree, and nzikiriza ne decision ya Katonda. Ate tugenda bongera reggae. Tugenda komawo, tetugenda twala pate yaffe mu kooti, tetubikola ebyo tuli bakadda. Naye tugenda bongera
Reggae.
Tugenda koma.
Tanga oi.
Oi.
Mitima oi.
Oi.
Master oi. Wangula oi.
Mulanga kolinite ya baba mulanga welele kolinite ya baba mulanga welele ya baba mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga welele bamuvumye obugezi mulanga welele te ya baba mulanga welele bamuvumye obugezi mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga banange tanga te ya baba mulanga welele tanga ya baba mulanga banange kolinite ya baba mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga welele bamuvumye obugezi mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga bamuvumye obunene mulanga welele tanga te ya baba oh tanga te ya baba mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga banange kolinite ya baba mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga bamuvumye obulalu mulanga welele tanga te ya baba bamuvumye obugezi mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga banange tanga te ya baba mulanga welele tanga te ya baba mulanga welele tanga oi kuangula oi kampala oi uganda oi kubuka oi Mkodami wange oi mkodami wange juu mkodami wange oi mkodami wange juu ra cha alo
Tozimbanga towagira yena.
Mbanga towagira tanga. Mbanga towagira tamba. Towagira tanga. Kwa ni waffe.
Abalozi bange bonna tukume tuvimbe lwakuba twawangula era tugenda ddamu tubakuberege tubalage line Yoweri Kaguta Museveni tazobeera nazo akaseera katuuse mu 2026 era mugume ekyabaddewo kibaddewo tetujja twala pate mu kooti tugenda kweyera pate yaffe.
Olabye twawuliddeko nti ssentebe w'ekibiina kya NRM agenda kubayita gwe n'oponenti we abatuuze mu kadde kano musalewo nga bya munda bituufu oba?
Siyinza kutebeereza oba bituufu naye ssentebe national chairman fena yatufuga era watuyita nze nga kadda nja kugendayo ngambe muzeeyi atuwayemu ebyetaagisa okutambuza ensonga eno kudda maaso.
Yes, on the issue, the ruling says that your dad, Dr. Tango, they has to step out of the elections, must not participate. What's your take on that?
They don't have the power. The tribunal does not have the mandate to do that. They don't have the mandate to direct. The tribunal does not have the mandate, at least according to the little law I understand, the little legal background I have. They don't have the mandate to do that, and I think that was not right. That was a personal attack on an individual, and I don't think it's right legally. Thank you. Tribunal terina buyinza bugamba Dr. Tango Doi stepping aside. Oba buyinza tebabuyina. Ekisooka bali ku perception tebakozesa evidence. Ekyokubiri tribunal I think Uganda
It is well.
Etanga oi! Etanga oi! Erege master oi! Museveni oi! Museveni